You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
First remote one. For those just listening,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, buddy.
For those just listening, we are not in the same room for this podcast, and that is the first time ever, right?
Correct. Do you want me to close that blind? Is that better?
You can try.
1 minute.
No, not well. Yeah, that might be better. So, Dad, where are you? Why are we not in the same room?
I'm in Colorado at Beaver Creek for a long weekend with Mom and a couple of friends.
Oh, fancy. Although I'm going there tomorrow, actually.
Fancy. You just came from the beach in Miami, right?
Yeah. Well, we went to go. We tried to go to Soho House, right? I was with 3 people because you're allowed to bring 3 guests to Soho House usually, and we show up and they're like, we're only doing 1 guest per member because it's it's like such a busy time that they're only doing 1 guest per member. I'm like, then what the fuck? You didn't tell me this. I showed up with 3 people. We had beach stuff. We were ready to go to the beach. So we just went to like a local bar on the beach instead and hung out. But
that's a dick move. Who'd you go with? Anyone I know?
Bryce, Shay, and Megan. And then Nina and her boyfriend and his 2 friends met us. So it was nice. We were like 10 people just hanging outside, enjoying the weather.
You have a good life, Ronnie.
I do have a good life. we were driving back over the bridge back to Brickell, and the sun was setting over the city. And we're like, why would anyone want to live anywhere else?
All right, so let me tell you. So I'm here. I got here the Wednesday night. Couldn't sleep for shit between the fucking outs and the dryness and it's so fucking dry. The heat, everything's disgusting. So I was no sleep. So Thursday I was skiing, but I was like sick. I was not feeling well. So I was just, and I got to tell you something, Ronnie. I don't know why any fucking person would ever live in the cold weather. It is the most painful fucking place. I can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
I love South Florida. I love where we live. I fucking hate cold weather. I don't know. People say, oh, I love the cold weather. I think I'm fucking moron.
I love the cold for like 3 days. It's fun. And then you're
honestly, Bron, honestly, I'm so over it. I'm like,
honestly, you know what? The only reason why I like the cold now is because like I have all this clothing from when I lived in Boston that I never get to wear in Miami. So the only reason I like the cold is like I can wear the few thick clothes that I never get to wear. That's the only reason. That's also like such a gay reason.
I know, but that is pretty good. But so I'm in this one. Look, I'm showered. We went snowmobiling today, which was a lot of fun.
That's super fun.
It was beautiful day, beautiful temperature, sunny. We just had a nice time. It wasn't like when I went to that extreme snowmobile, but it was still fun. So now I'm showered and I'm in my warm clothes, and even though you got to wear layers, I'm still sweating my ass off. I'm still hot right now with the wool socks. So
and you get all dressed up to go outside, then you go inside and you have to take all the shit off and you have to hold it. So then you're holding like a jacket and scarf and gloves, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing with this? This is I hate it.
I hate it. Let me be very clear. We remember I was looking to buy a place here. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm telling you now. I literally told the realtor I have zero interest. I don't want to be here. I don't like the fucking cold weather. If I never saw it, I can't wait to get home to South Florida and you're in shorts. It's easy. This place, cold weather, they can fucking keep it. And
I agree.
So I got to start dying. I'm so fucking fat. I'm nauseous. It's like I'm giving birth to twins. I'm eating so much. I am so bloated.
I've been eating good. I've been eating real good.
Bronny, I'm disgusted. I'm starting Monday. I'm going strong. I'm going hard. I'm working at it again.
But you've said that maybe 7 Mondays this year already.
I have a problem. First thing is acknowledge the problem. But I'm going to do. Remember, I did do it, didn't I? I was a machine.
Yes, when you're good, you're good. But when you're bad, you're bad. That's the problem. I'm kind of like that. Like when I'm on a diet, once I'm committed, I'm very strict and I'm very militant. But then the second I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have a cheat day, then it's like I'm like gorging. I have a burger and fries and a cookie and a milkshake, and it's like I go hard, and then it defeats the whole purpose of everything that you work for.
First of all, I feel like crap. I look like crap. My ski pants couldn't close.
Oh, that's bad.
No, ski pants couldn't close.
That's bad.
And not only was it not closed, but when they were unbuttoned, and I was just They were still tight. No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I got to balance, get back to my running. I'm going to eat salad. I'm fucking done. I'm literally, I look at myself, I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm done. I was a machine a year and a half ago. I'm going to go back to it and I got to lose, but it's only 10 pounds. I only need 10 pounds. It's not a lot.
And that you could do that in 2 weeks if you wanted to.
Absolutely. I just got to get to my fucking eating healthy, which I'm going to do, and start to running again. It's been so busy at work. But I was saying to Mom, you know, we miss you guys, Ronnie. We miss you and your brother.
Because you fly back to Florida on Sunday and I fly to Colorado on Sunday. We miss each other by like 2 hours in Colorado. And then I'm gone for the full week. So this will have been the longest time that we've been apart since a year, maybe, since I lived in California.
We see you guys all the time.
Yeah, it'll have been 2 weeks.
I don't like it. I love our relationship. I love our family dynamic. I love that we get to see our boys all the time. I love the closeness. We love seeing you guys. It's just
I used to go 6 months without seeing you, and now 2 weeks you're like, oh my god.
Wait, let's be honest. Don't you miss seeing Mom and I hanging out with us?
No, I like our routine. I like seeing you guys, of course. Yeah.
And the weekends when we come to Miami, we take you and your brother out. We have a nice time. Isn't it fun?
Yeah, I miss having free dinners. Definitely.
That's real nice. That's real nice. Well, we miss you and your brother. We're not gonna lie. We definitely we miss you guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, we had a long day tomorrow. We got to get early. We got a fucking 9 o'clock.
Dad, my flight leaves Miami at 5:30 in the morning. Leaves.
Oh, I was saying, but right, you live in Miami, so you can handle that.
No, I'm just saying I have to be up at 4 to be at the airport at 4:30.
Is there anybody else on your flight?
Yeah, there's four of us are on the same flight. So
do you know any of the guys?
I know one of them.
All right,
but and they're all friends of friends.
All similar age?
Yeah, everyone's 24 to 26-ish, I think.
All right, nice. Good for you. I'm glad you're gonna have a good
time. We'll have fun. Yeah.
Skiing sucks, Bronny. I gotta tell you, I did it.
You're getting old. You're a grandpa now. Your dad skied until he was 80 and he didn't complain once.
Yeah, but I like to complain. But I was also sick. I was bad. Oh,
being sick sucks. I love feeling normal. And the worst part is when you feel normal, you don't realize that you're feeling normal. You know what I mean? You only take it for granted, or you take it for granted. You don't appreciate it until you're not feeling normal. Like when your nose isn't stuffy, you're not thinking, oh, my nose isn't stuffy. You're just breathing. But then when your nose is stuffy, you're like, oh, I wish my nose wasn't stuffy. You know what I mean?
Well, it's sort of like that's why you'll be very fortunate, be very thankful in the moment of your health, your happiness, what you have, because if you think about things, most people think about things when you are in bad times, whatever. So you have to be very thankful and appreciative of what you have when you have it, right? Not when you lost it or when things are bad. But yeah, it's we're having a good time. So what's going on, Bronny Bo?
Well, I mean, since you've gone, the whole world has changed forever.
What, literally Ukraine?
No, I mean that Justin Bieber came out as gay.
Justin Bieber came out as gay?
No, of course. I mean, Russia, Ukraine.
I know, you idiot. I know. It's a terrible thing. I will tell you though, Biden's the wrong guy to be in office for this Putin shit.
Okay, so why do you say that? What would you want? What would you want a U.S. president to do it in this time?
I want someone that's stronger than him.
But to do what? Like for what?
I don't know. Have someone that I think that maybe Putin can somewhat respect. I mean, Putin is a mafia. He's like a thug. So I think you can't have somebody weak. You have to have somebody strong. The sanctions aren't going to do anything when you have over 600 billion or 600 billion, I think they have in reserves, right?
600 billion men?
Or no, money.
Dollars?
Like there was 600 million.
No, well, the thing is, we're really jumping ahead. We should start at the beginning and we'll go. I'm sure everyone listening has been following along.
And people don't know what's going on with the Russia Ukraine thing. And then they should.
I would hope everyone knows.
Get off the Zoom thing right now.
Well, they're not on the Zoom with us. They're just listening to this episode.
Right.
I would hope everyone would know, but I've been following it. I've been following it for months. We've talked about the potential of this happening for months on the show. We've been one of the earlier, I would think, shows talking about, right? Like 2 months ago, I was saying Russia is going to fucking invade Ukraine and the world's going to change. It could be any day. And then now we're here. It's happened.
Do we want to get our chief correspondent and try to get him on the Zoom with us right now?
We can if you want. I think it might.
Why don't you?
We can invite him on the Zoom. But I know everything about the thing.
I know, but why not? It might add a little flavor. He's ex Navy guy.
You can text him if you want.
Well, I have to go get my phone. Do you want to text him?
Sure.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. What do you call Vamp? Vamp for a moment. Okay.
Yeah, I will. I will say.
I'm still here, by the way. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I will say that I do think that the world's changed forever with this situation. Like the world will never be the same because it's fully a country. We've witnessed a modern country invade another country, unprovoked, with no justification, no reasoning whatsoever, just for the fact that they wanted to take them. Like that's old. That's not modern. That's how wars used to be back in like the 1200s, not in modern times. So the fact that they did that and are just kind of getting away with it, like the world's obviously like condemning them, right? All European countries have condemned Russia, but it's like, okay, so what? Putin knew he was going to be condemned for this. He doesn't fucking care. He's just doing this.
Yeah, it's all about power,
right? But then that's why I'm like, I feel two ways about it. I feel on the one hand,
let me text him.
On the one hand, he's a bully, and America should get involved because it's like you can't let a bully just get away with things on this grand of a scale, literally taking over countries and killing innocent people for no reason. But then on the other hand, I'm like, why should we ever send our troops over there and get involved? Because it has nothing to do with us. It's two countries that have nothing to do with us, and we can let them solve their own shit. Because why does America have any right to?
I agree with that.
I feel both ways. I feel that we obviously should get involved because we should stop a bully in his tracks. Because why, if he believes that he can get away with Ukraine and if he gets away with it, he'll just do it again to another country. Why wouldn't he? So we got to stop it before it's too late and let him know that he can't get away with it. But then on the other hand, I'm like, why should we ever get involved? Because it has nothing to do with us. I feel both ways. I
don't have a definitive thing, but I think that
I think no one does either. That's why no one knows what to do.
And then the other thing is, it's definitely affecting America with the gas prices and everything else. When I got to sneeze. So 1 second.
Stare at the light. Only three.
Yeah. So I don't know. The thing is, we're dependent on these countries that are our enemies, that are our allies, and that's the problem. There's no reason why America should be dependent on anyone that's really our enemies. They're not our enemies.
We've made it that way.
I know we made it that way. I understand that China and
it doesn't have to be.
Right. And you got like China and the Middle Eastern countries and Russia like sort of teaming up, and it's a problem. It's the
good guys. It's the Axis and the allies. It's the good guys versus the bad guys of the world.
It's a problem.
But that's the stupid thing is that like it's the good guys and the bad guys of the world. But it's like the five guys. It's literally like Putin as a guy is making the decision to go into Ukraine and invade, and it's changing the whole world for everyone else. Like we have no say. The Russian people have no say, and it's one man and his own individual desires is now going to change the world forever. And who knows? Because as of now, it's causing hundreds of lives cost. It's only been 3 days since they've invaded, and there have been, I think they said 3,000 Russian soldiers have died. That's what Ukraine is saying, I think, which is a staggering number in only a couple of days. But it could be millions. Who knows when this shit will end? It's going to keep escalating and escalating. So it's like one guy wants to do this. That's so annoying.
Right. And here's the big problem. What's to stop them from just doing this?
That's what I'm right. Of course. Right. That's why I'm saying we kind of have to get involved.
Right.
Because if we show him that he's just able to get away with taking over a full, free, democratic country, why wouldn't he just keep going throughout Europe and just keep taking and taking and taking?
Correct. It's a big problem. I don't know. It's a big. I think this is a crazy world we live in, and there's no nuclears. I'm not worried about that because nobody wants to blow them there, because I'm not worried about the nuclear aspect. Russia's not doing nuclear. They want their life too. I'm not worried about that. That's the stupid thing.
I mean, I've always been of the mindset of like that humans at the core are all about self-preservation. Like Putin, all he wants is power, and so in order to keep and hold power, he has to be alive. And he's smart enough to know that if he launches a nuke, he will no longer be alive. But then again, like in times of crisis, people think and act differently.
Irrational.
They just do, right? Especially men with egos think and act differently. They don't act logically. So it's like, who knows? He could be like, you know what, fuck. Or, I mean, who knows? If he thinks that he's losing, right? Let's say America, we get involved and it escalates, and he's like, you know what? I guess I am losing. The tide's turned. Fuck this. I'm not going to let them win. I'm just going to destroy their whole country. And he sends nukes. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not as worried about that. I mean, and if that happens, what do we? There's nothing we can do about it. But
right. If that happens, there's literally nothing we can do about it.
Right. So, but I don't know. I don't. You know, it's a bad thing. And Biden is not the right person. He's just not the right person.
I just don't know what the right person would be for America right now. Like what more could we do than what Biden's doing? Not that I'm saying Biden's doing good stuff, but like they did everything that we could without declaring war, right? We sent a bunch of troops to border countries in case, right? So we didn't send any troops into Ukraine. We've sent 8,000 troops to Latvia, and we've sent like 7,000 troops to like Poland and Estonia or something.
Why?
Because they're NATO countries. So they're our allies by war treaty. So we sent troops there to be ready, just to help them bolster up their borders in case they're next. So we've sent troops to bordering countries that are our allies. We've cut Russia out of all banking systems in the world, so they can't send or receive any money from outside of Russia. And we've taken over the assets of all of the Russian oligarchs. So Russian businessmen who are in bed with Putin, who have assets in America, we've said they're no longer theirs. So Russian-owned homes, businesses, properties, whatever, land, assets, all their assets we've frozen. They cannot access them. And in Russia, I mean, how it works there is like the businessmen are in bed with Putin and Putin's in bed with the businessmen. So you can't become really wealthy in Russia without being tied to Putin and vice versa. It's just, so they're supportive of each other, right? Like, so if Putin's,
it's the mafia. It's the mafia.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's like a great move that we're doing that, because all of these businessmen are now going to, have
money's money, Bronny.
Exactly. And so now they're probably all at Putin's door being like, hey, what the fuck is going on? We got to do something. So we're putting a lot of pressure on them without going to war. I don't see what more we can do without going to war. And I don't want to go to war.
No, I don't want to go to war either. I agree. But I think that if there was, just hear me out, if there was someone, say like Trump, okay, who is same level of Putin, I think there's a certain, you know, it's like you have two narcissistic bully leaders of these powerful countries. They're egotistical. Even though they might despise, there's a level of respect for one another because they come from they're similar in many ways. I think if there was a meeting between the two of them, I think that Trump's such a good negotiator, whether you like him or not. I think that the meeting would be left. There would be some sort of resolution. It's just my opinion.
That's just such a huge what if. Like there's no way that we could know.
Listen, that's why I said it's just my opinion. It's just my speculation.
Do you think if Trump was in office that Putin wouldn't have even invaded?
I do agree with that. I feel that.
I don't think so, but I see why people say that, but I don't think so.
Here's the reason why: because Putin has referred to Trump as a thug. Means I think he feels a little intimidated by Trump. Also, I think that America is a little weak. You know, where there's a lot of
we're a lot weak on the world stage, yeah.
From the right. So isn't it a better time to push? Keep pushing things a little more, see how much you can get away with. And I think
but what that means, but pushing a little bit means that 50,000 American soldiers are just going to die for no reason in Eastern Europe because of that. Like, is that what we want? I don't want that.
No, I don't want it.
If Trump was president and they invaded, he might just have been like, oh, war. And then it's like for the next 5 years, where in wartime that would be horrible. And it would not be like an Afghanistan war where we're going in to fight like a militia. It would be country versus country. It would be like a world war again. And we've no one alive in this country, well, except like very, very old grandparents, remembers what world wars were like. It would be horrible. It would be horrible for our country.
New product alert.
Whoop, whoop,
I wish we had a soundboard thing.
Okay.
That's not a horrible siren. But yeah, new product alert from our homies out at Manscaped, who have been hooking you up with the trimmers and the nose hair trimmers and all the good stuff. But now they got you covered with, like, they had you covered with your private parts. Now they're going to have you covered with your public parts.
They do such a good job with even in the packaging. I mean, this is like serious
it's premium
stuff. Yeah, it's top notch.
So speaking of premium, Manscaped has released their new ultra premium package. And so in the premium package, it includes their great 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner and body wash, which we've talked about here. You guys know that I use it. I like it because there's no plastic. It's cruelty-free. It's vegan. It's got a lot of good quality products inside the bottles, and it smells fucking awesome. So not only does the ultra premium package include that, but we've got some new Manscaped products that have just come off the line, which I've been trying for the last week and have been great. In the package, it includes a new deodorant, which is awesome. It smells really good.
Smells great.
I've been using it for a while now. It's nice.
Nice, yeah.
My favorite thing.
I see you rub. It has your rub on it. I don't want to get too close.
Yeah, of course it has my
Very
rub.
nice. Yeah.
My favorite thing, which I didn't even, when I first got this, I was like, body spray. Why would I use body spray? That sounds like what a teenager would use for Axe and shit. But this stuff's really good. They call it their hydrating body spray, and you basically are supposed to use it like body lotion. Like women put lotion on their skin after. This is a good smelling spray. I spray it on my body. My skin is all nice and smooth, hydrated, and it smells good. It's great. And then they also will throw in a package of lip balm for free.
Which I use that shit all the time.
You get 3 packs of lip balm for free, included in the ultra premium package. Really good stuff. It has like a nice pepperminty thing. So it's like, if I put it on about an hour ago, if I'm kissing someone tonight, I'll be prepared. It'll be great. So Manscaped has you prepared below the belt, and now they're going to have you prepared above the belt.
It's just everything you need to keep yourself looking good and maintain your body and your appearance. And that's what we need to do. And it's a great product. And we've had friends that have ordered it so far and they love it. And it's a great support for Manscaped, great support for our podcast.
Yeah. And for those who care about this stuff, which I do, all the products in this new ultra premium package are vegan, gluten-free, cruelty-free, alcohol-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free, dye-free, and aluminum-free, which are all great. It's all natural stuff, all in metal cans, recyclable, no plastics. Definitely check it out. Head over to manscaped.com. Use our code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off on all their products, not just the premium package, and you'll get free shipping. So once again, manscaped.com. Use the code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off, free shipping. You'll help your own body out. You'll help your sex life out, your confidence out, and you'll help us out over at Daddy Issues.
Just do it.
I'm just don't base them
right. It's all what ifs. It's all hypothetical.
I think if Trump was in office, I don't think it would ever gotten to a point with war. I think he'd be flying out there. There'd be discussions. I think that there's still 2 dudes in a room, bro, both billionaires. They'd work it out. That's my feeling. I do. I think they'd work it out.
I think Trump would let Putin take Ukraine. Trump. Remember when Trump was impeached the first time? The reason why he was impeached was because he withheld $400 million worth of military aid to Ukraine because the president of Ukraine wouldn't give him dirt on Biden and Hunter Biden. Do you remember that? That was why he was impeached the first time. So Trump literally removed $400 million worth of military aid to Ukraine, which the U.S. was providing because we were like, hey, Russia kind of wants to invade you. They wanted to invade you ever since the Soviet Union collapsed. So we're going to give you this money to help bolster your defenses so that they don't invade you. Because it makes sense for America to have as many democracies in the world as possible. Like that just makes sense that we would want to keep democracy alive.
A better world. I agree.
Right. And Ukraine was a very modern, they became a country, I think in 1993. So they're like a very modern democracy. And they are proudly democratic. The people of Ukraine declared themselves a country, voted in presidents, and it's been very democratic since. So it would make sense that we would provide them support, monetary support, because they've been at threat. Trump withheld the support because the president wouldn't give him dirt on Hunter Biden. Remember, there was that phone call, and he was saying he like threatened withholding that. So I don't know if Trump would be so quick to defend Ukraine. He wasn't 2 years ago quick to defend them. If anything, he made them more vulnerable. He literally withheld $400 million from them.
I hear you. That's just my opinion.
I think it would be I mean, yeah, these are all hypotheticals, but I think it might be like a World War II situation where in World War II, Hitler went to Europe. He went to it was the League of Nations at the time, which was the precursor to the United Nations. And he said, look, I don't want to get involved in a whole huge war with everyone. I want Czechoslovakia. That was now it's Czech Republic and Slovakia. Back then it was Czechoslovakia. He was like, I just want that. Just give me Czechoslovakia and then we're good. We'll be at peace again. It'll be fine. And they were like, you know what? It'll be easier to just give him Czechoslovakia. And the League of Nations relinquished that country to Hitler's control. 2 weeks later, he invaded Poland. A month after that, he invaded France. A month after that, he tried to
fuck himself. Right.
Right. So it's like we can't give in to these dictators.
You can't.
They're not just going to stop at one.
They're terrorists. You can't give them to terrorists.
But then on the other hand, with Putin, I do feel like part of him would just wants Ukraine. He'll take it because Ukraine was this close to becoming NATO. And if they became a NATO ally, then they were like, he would never be able to invade ever again. He's never going to invade an allied or a NATO allied country. That would be the end of Russia.
But what about what's next? China with it Thailand?
Taiwan. But Taiwan's not NATO either. China can take Taiwan whenever they want.
I know, but they're going to keep doing these things and they're going to get bigger and stronger.
But once Russia had like Ukraine, so for those who don't know, and maybe you don't know, but the reason why he's invading Ukraine in the first place is that
he wants the ports?
No. Putin wants, because they got the ports, right? They in 2014, Russia invaded Crimea, which was part of Ukraine. It's a peninsula on the Black Sea, and they took that over in 2014. So they have the ports. Russia and Putin specifically want to reestablish the Soviet Empire. Soviet Union back in the 60s through the 80s was half of the world. They had all of Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Czechoslovakia, or not Czechoslovakia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova. They had all these countries. They were huge, half of Europe, half of Asia. And it was
they had bad Russia?
Dagestan, yeah. They had a huge landmass. Half the world was in the Soviet Union, and it was an empire. And then they fell in 1991, when the Soviet Union fell, the end of the Berlin Wall, whatever. They want to, of course, they would want to regain their prowess, right? They're one country now. They used to be 12. So they're trying to regain it. And they slowly have been, right? They took over Crimea. They have that they have Belarus, which is another country, is a puppet state of Russia because Lukashenko is, I think the president of that, I'm forgetting his name. The president of Belarus was put in place by Putin. So he's just like his buddy. And so they're slowly chipping away at Eastern Europe to try to regain land to create a Soviet empire. Yeah, however, Ukraine, so Belarus is with Russia. They're part of that. The other enclaves of the Soviet Union, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Poland, they are NATO countries. They've joined up with NATO since. So that means they're allied with the US, the UK, France, Germany, the biggest military powers the world has ever known. Ukraine was the only last one that was not NATO.
Why wouldn't they become part of NATO? What was the reason behind that?
I think they've been trying for years, and I don't think we've been letting them in. I know they've been trying for years. I don't know. I'm ignorant on that, so I won't speak to what I don't know about with that.
I would think more countries would want to become part of NATO now.
Well, especially now. Like now, Putin is like forced half the world to be like, oh shit, we got to join NATO now. Because once you join NATO, it's part of, maybe we didn't join NATO because we wouldn't have wanted to go to a war with Russia. Because part of NATO is that if any NATO country is invaded, we all go to war with them, no matter what. No questions asked. We have to go to war with them. So like, you don't want every country to be in NATO. We wouldn't want a country that like is constantly getting in war as part of NATO, because then it's like we're constantly getting in war. So we wouldn't let them in.
Let me see what Tom says.
So it makes sense that Putin would want Ukraine, because Ukraine was right about to become NATO. Like, they probably in the next couple of years would have joined NATO up, and then he would never be able to get them back ever again into the Soviet Union. So it makes sense that he's doing it now, because he's like, you know what, fuck, I gotta. It's like you throw
Enough shit.
You have your last start. You just gotta, you gotta.
No,
throw
I
it.
get it. Because
Otherwise, it's gonna be taken away from you. You'll never be able to get the dart back. I think his plan. I mean, none of us know, and we'll see over the coming days. I think his plan was to take Ukraine while he can, and then once he has control of the country, then diplomatically try to settle ties again and be like, we're done, we're at peace, we'll never invade again. Do what you need to do, yell at me, whatever. We'll pay sanctions, we'll do whatever. But he has that land, and he'll be good. And then he's not going to invade a NATO country, never.
Poor people that live in Ukraine. Isn't it terrible?
Have you seen all the shit? Like, have you seen the stuff coming out of Ukraine?
It's just terrible. Like, imagine your whole. It's just terrible, man. It's
terrible. That imagine one day we wake up and it's like there are foreign soldiers on our land. They're marching into Miami right now, and what do we do? Bryce and I were saying the other day. Bryce and I were like, we'd have to fight, right? Foreign invaders on our soil, unprovoked. We didn't do anything wrong. We were just sitting there, and one day they come because they want our land. No, fuck you. You don't get our land.
No, we all need to fight.
Yeah.
Every citizen would have to fight and unite together and fight for our fucking, and their strength in numbers. Fuck them. We kill them.
Right, exactly.
We kill them.
And by the way, so Russia, we're recording this on Saturday. Russia invaded on Wednesday, right? I believe Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wednesday night into Thursday. When Russia first invaded, everyone in the world, including myself and us, right? We were like, oh, they're obviously going to win. Russia's one of the biggest.
No, there's some issues. There's some issues going on, right?
Ukraine is holding their fucking own and killing it.
I love it. I love it. Yep.
So at first they just had they called up their reservists, right? Like anyone who served in the military in the past, they called them up to fight.
Oh, but the citizens are all armed now doing this shit.
Right. That still wasn't enough. So then they said they tried to send
men.
Yeah. They tried to send women and children out of the country, and they said all men 18 to 60 aren't allowed to leave the country because we need you to fight.
Which I agree with.
No one's even fleeing. Everyone, from the politicians, the president is out there on the battlefields shooting guns, defending. And did you hear the U.S. offered President Zelensky, who's the president of Ukraine,
weapons, right? Weapons.
No. We said we'll extract you. We said we'll give you a safe extraction, and he said no. If anything, just give us more ammo. I'm not leaving this country. Right. He said, if I die with my soldiers. Like, the dude's awesome.
Love it.
He stayed in Kiev, and Russia, as of recording this, it's Saturday night. Russia took over Chernobyl.
Why does he want Chernobyl? It's dead land.
Yeah, but there's all this nuclear waste, and you can use that to threaten the rest of Europe. Like, if you can, that's what they're theorizing, that he wants it, because if you have that, you can release it into the water supply in Ukraine, and boom, they're all done.
Well,
but I also don't think
that's psychotic. But also,
Putin wants Ukraine because he believes it's part of his bigger empire. So he doesn't want to they don't want to destroy the country.
Right.
But the Ukrainians are fighting. They're in the streets. The civilians are fighting. There are pictures of women who are defending their homes with guns. And
I love it.
And now, as of Saturday night, there are all these reports of Russian tanks and convoys abandoned in the middle of Ukraine because they've run out of fuel, because they've been fighting, and the Ukrainians have been holding them back. And Russia now I don't think they expected to come and take it over in one day and be done. So now that their soldiers are constantly fighting for 3-4 days now, they're running out of supplies, running out of food, and they don't have the money or the resources because we cut them off from the world. They don't have the resources to refuel them. So there are all these abandoned Russian tanks in the Ukrainian countryside, and the Russian soldiers have just fled back to Russia.
Well, think about it. If some foreign army came to our house, you don't think we would fucking take all our ammo and our guns and fucking start shooting the shit out of them?
Yeah,
course we
we'd have like I never right. I would hope that most people would feel that way, and I think I would. We'd be like, we can't leave. This is our land, and we have to protect it.
We would get our group of friends that all have the same view as us, come to one area with all our guns and ammo, and we'd fucking make sure, and we would destroy everybody.
No, but that wouldn't be helpful. Like, no one's trying to invade our house. We'd go into the cities. We'd probably like go to DC and defend the line there. Right. No one is it, if someone's invading America, they're not like taking tanks to Boca Raton and going to your house. That's not what it would be. But all these people in Ukraine, because the president said, we will provide arms to any citizen who needs them. Just come to your local city official or whatever. And all these people have been going, and there are pictures of dozens and dozens of men, 18-year-olds, 50-year-olds, all sitting in the rooms together, signing up to join the military to defend the country. It's awesome.
I love it. It gives you chills, doesn't it? It makes you feel proud, and without Ukrainian.
Right, and just what's been super hopeful to see is like one, that all these people in this country are standing up to fight, and that all the leaders in Ukraine have been
still there,
full on fighting in the trenches. Like they are the ones on the front line. I just feel like I don't have that faith in our American leaders. I feel like all our leaders would be the first ones to fucking flee,
to go under the bunkers and hide out.
Absolutely. The mayor of Kiev, have you seen him? He's showing up he's out in the streets of Kiev every day in full military gear with guns, and he's killed like a bunch of Russian soldiers already defending the city of Ukraine or Kiev.
I love it. Who the fuck is Russia? Who do they think they are, right? These soldiers. Fuck them.
I just love that this like underdog little democratic country that Russia thought would be a one-day thing. So far, it's been 5 days, and they are not only are they holding themselves, defending, they're taking shit back. Russia took over Ukraine, or Russia took over Chernobyl. The Ukrainian government has taken Chernobyl back into their control since. Like, that's awesome.
Wow. All right, so there's hope. There's hope.
There's certainly hope. Shockingly, there's hope. When we were talking months ago about it, we were talking about it as if Russia just would easily be able to take over Ukraine. Now that we're 5 days into this war, it's like Russia might lose. Russia might literally lose.
This is David and Goliath, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Pretty cool. Wow.
Have you heard about that the Ghost of Kiev story?
No.
So there's this one fighter pilot, and they're calling him the Ghost of Kiev. I don't think anyone's been able to identify who he is yet. He took out 6 Russian fighter jets in one day. There's one guy, and he's constantly patrolling the skies of Kiev, the city, and they're calling him the Ghost of Kiev. He's a fighter. He's a fighter pilot in the Ukrainian Air Force.
I love it.
And he's just demolishing. And so now everyone's saying like the Ghost of Kiev is protecting the city. It's just so cool.
I gotta watch some of this shit. Where are you watching it? Because the news is like the same, repetitive, and the commentary. Yeah. I'm so tired of the commentary and the speculation. It's the same shit. So where do you find the
for news? I haven't been watching American news on this because the American news coverage is just so bad. I've been watching foreign news. Like British news has been doing a really good job. I think of like I've been watching Sky News, BBC there, because it's so cool to see the difference in news coverage. American news, excuse me, American news is like all opinion, right? They'll show you a video and then they'll be like, they'll talk about their thoughts on it. It's like, just show me the fucking video.
No, but they say so. They're like, well, this guy who's chief expert in this, who served in Afghanistan for 20 years, and he comes and an expert in that and gets and he goes, yeah, Russia is invading Ukraine. I'm like, really? That's what we need to hear? I mean, I can't watch the news. You watch.
So I've been watching like Sky News, which is British, and they'll just show you a video and they'll be like, this happened. Okay. And now at 2:00, this is happening. And this is happening. They just tell you what's happening. It's great. There's no opinion based on it at all. So I've been watching foreign news. Al Jazeera, like that as well, which is like Arabic news, and just Twitter and Reddit, because then you're getting news from people in Ukraine. Like I've been seeing people in Ukraine post videos that they've taken and their own thoughts. Like that's way better than I have something in my throat or something. That's way better getting it directly from the source than from CNN. Who the fuck do they like?
This is going to affect our gas prices significantly, which is a problem. It's going to affect a lot of Americans that live hand. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, Biden was saying before Ukraine even or before Russia even invaded, Biden was blaming the high gas prices on the Ukraine crisis. It's like, what the fuck?
No, we had that beforehand.
Why would gas prices even go up? We don't get most of our. I think they're just going to use this as an excuse to jack up all the prices, and they're going to say, "Oh, we're not at war with Russia. Why would our inflation go up based on a war with Russia?" If we declare war and we go to war, wartime is always inflation. So we're not in a war. We're just supporting them with sanctions. Why would that affect our economy?
And it shouldn't. But it is.
I think they're using it as an excuse because over the last year we've seen with Biden, inflation has skyrocketed in this country everywhere. Everyone's felt the effects of the inflation. I think that they're using it as an excuse. Oh, guys, this inflation is from that. No, it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is just me thinking about it.
Well, but then why the threat of the threat of the war and the actual war, even though America's not part of it, has affected the stock market here?
Yes, it's affected the stock market, but that's not gas prices. The gas prices don't go based on the stock market. That goes based on oil prices.
But it does, even though we're not part of the war, it's still affecting our economy.
Yeah, but did you see the day after Russia invaded, the markets opened really, really low, and then they ended really high.
That's true.
20 points up. It was like insanely high.
Yeah, so it did rally back up. It's still going to be very volatile. You know, all the financial advisors and all the major clearinghouses are telling you that the next 6 months will be very volatile.
Yeah. Well, we just don't know. It's just crazy that we live in a time where it's just like, we don't know what tomorrow's going to be. And now, like, I remember before COVID, like the life just kind of went on, right? And like things would happen in the world, right? Like you'd watch the news and you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. But like, it didn't really change your life. It didn't really change things. Since COVID, it's like things really change life now on a drastic level. Like COVID, our world will never be the same.
Well, look, would we ever be doing a Zoom?
Right, exactly. Like even things like that, harmless things like that. But our life has changed forever. We never did this shit before COVID, and now forever we'll do this. So it's like every day sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just feel like every day now we wake up to a world where it's like the world can be changed forever.
It's worse for you guys and your kids, and it's because it's like you know, even something as simplistic as my profession, you know, depositions and court hearings are everything was in person, and it was such a good way to practice law, and it was great, and now that's okay, and now everything is Zoom. It's just so weird, and I don't know, just things are so fucking retarded, dude. So retarded. But so do we have any what else we got? Because I know we want to also do a daddy issues. Oh, how was your?
We want to do a daddy issues.
Daddy issues, father advice, right? How was your? Did you do the Patreon one, you and Bryce?
Yeah, we recorded. Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about that yet. No, I don't want to talk about that.
I'm off. All right, sorry, Ronnie Boo.
No, it's fine. Okay. Just in case. I just don't want to talk about that.
Understood.
I can get a fatherly advice. Let me see. What are other things that are
we just have to watch and monitor the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, and hopefully the underdog does what they need to do.
I just don't trust our government to. I just don't trust the world to like let it end in a good way. I just feel like someone somewhere is going to try to take advantage of the situation and spiral it out of control, right? Like we saw with COVID, that everyone, every business, every government, every place of power takes a little bit of a crisis and tries to stretch it out into to a whole thing. We're still 2 years, and there's governments are still trying to stretch COVID.
This and 24-hour news is fucking that up because they need to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like the media is going to milk. Right. Like, what if Russia tomorrow is like, you know what, we're going to retreat.
Well, what are they going to talk about?
Exactly. I feel like the businesses, everyone's banking on this. The media, they're all. So it's such a drastic thing that I feel like no one's going to let it go, even if we should let it go.
I agree. The 24-hour news thing is a huge problem and creates this unnecessary hype, which people drink the Kool-Aid. That's a major problem. It is a problem, and it concerns me. 24-hour news is a bad thing.
Yeah. So there's another really important thing going on in the world as well. Really important. Lizzo is having.
Could you hear the noise in the background where I'm at?
Barely.
Okay. A little lower. Just a smidgen. Go ahead. Yeah. Lizzo, my friend, what's going on with Skinny Minnie?
Lizzo is having a TV show, a reality TV show that she's leading. Let's see. I think I can share my screen and you'll be able to see.
Good for her.
All right. Can you see what my screen is?
You said it has started screen sharing. Oh, here we go. 1 minute.
Okay. So you can see what I'm looking at, right?
But look at her.
Okay. So this is her new show. It's called Watch Out for the Big Girls. Girls is GRRRLS, not girls. So watch out for the big girls. And so this is from this article. Lizzo, the 3-time Grammy winner who became a household name, blah, 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 is set to bring big girls front and center with a new reality competition series. Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Girls is an unscripted show in which 10 girls compete for the chance of joining Lizzo on her world tour. Hosted by Lizzo herself, the 10 competitors will have to twerk it out, push their limits, and expose their vulnerabilities from episode to episode.
Great. Very talented, highly talented.
It's literally a show about finding big Black girls.
Only Black people.
Yeah. Here's some of the competitors. Here's a picture from it.
Oh my God.
So it's a reality show, a competition show to find who can twerk the best, I guess, who can be the fattest.
Right.
I don't know.
Are you kidding me? No, you look at that. Make that bigger.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what you want. But look at that.
I think there's a trailer.
Okay. By the way, I gotta see this woman. Let's see this.
Also, the best part is it's on Amazon Prime. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Can you hear that? Okay.
Close it.
Lizzo, I'm looking for dancers to join me on my tour. Girls that look like me don't get representation. Trying to pull up my sleeves and find them myself.
Oh my God.
We thick and we pretty and we know we bout. It's the
Oh my God.
Background dancer for Lizzo.
Oh my God.
It's showtime. What do we have in
Oh
store?
my God.
I'm always doubting myself. I feel like that has been detrimental in how I approach dance.
That one's got to be a guy, right?
That I do deserve a spot on that stage. It's hard to love yourself in a world that doesn't love you back. You were created.
Oh God.
Your image for you to enjoy.
Okay, but here's the thing: you weren't created fat, right? Like you were not created 400 pounds obese.
Okay. Let me explain something to you.
That's only half the trailer, too.
Wait. Ronnie, let me explain something to you. Number one is it's nauseating to watch. And I got to tell you, I think it's a mockery. Seriously, I don't think it's
mockery of what?
Of these women. I don't think it empowers these women. I think it's a fucking mockery.
I agree with you.
It's almost like they're like making it like a freak show or a traveling freak show. This is not going to empower. It's embarrassing to them. And I'm sorry, not one of these women can feel good about themselves.
I think it might. I think it might be like empowering to other fat women, but to the rest of the world, this is like a freak show. I agree with you.
It's not empowering.
But also, here's it. Like the thing with fat, the whole fat movement, or like what's it called? Body positivity. That's what the movement.
Of course, it's called body positivity. That's what it is. So being fat is body positivity.
Like if you're body positive, you're not like you don't whatever someone's body looks like, it doesn't matter because it's just that's their body. So you should be positive about everyone's body.
Okay. By the way, I find nothing wrong with that. Listen, people have a right to be who they want. I do agree with that. I mean, like,
Of course,
people should be who they want. But but see, that's not the issue. The issue is their obesity. They're not happy with. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The thing is, when all of like the different woke issues and political shit, a lot of them make sense on a fundamental level because it's like, why should someone be judged or persecuted or treated differently in society?
How they look.
Because of something that is completely out of their control. They were born with darker skin, so they should be treated differently. That makes no sense.
I agree with you, Bronny.
Right, but
I agree with you.
Okay, look, there's a small minority of people that have no control over their body weight because of some metabolism.
Correct.
That's a small percentage of them. 90% of people who are fat because they just make that
Big Macs and the fucking Whoppers.
Right. So it's like, why should, like, that's a whole different thing than being judged for like the color of your skin. It's a whole different thing, but it's being shoehorned in with all the other things. And it's like, no, it shouldn't be.
Bronny, I'm telling you, this is not for Lizzo because she's so concerned. This is all about money, and she's fucking manipulating and using this narrative and venue to fucking, she's literally making money off these fucking people, and it's not for the benefit of these people. It's a crock of shit.
Yeah.
It's a crock of shit.
I just don't understand who, I don't think anyone, and we've said this before on the show, but I don't think anyone truly at the core of it, like most big women you see nowadays, it's because it's mostly big women, because big guys don't really talk about them being fat. Most big women are like so outwardly confident and overly self-assured, right? Like so much so that they're like, it's like they're putting it on, right? Like no one.
It's not right. They're what's it called? Not mask, projecting.
Yeah, like, right. I've never met every big girl I've met is like owns her size too much, right? Like becomes her whole personality. It's like, I'm hot because I'm big, and it's like,
yeah, sure.
When you're constantly trying to like make
Convince
up for
yourself.
it, yeah,
yourself.
exactly. That's what it is. Convincing yourself.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Again, you want to be fucking fat, knock yourself out. You want to be fucking obese and whatever, knock yourself. It doesn't mean I have to like it or love it. And I guarantee you, the fucking fat and obese people, they don't like it or love themselves either. It's bullshit. And like you said at the beginning, very small percentage of people can't help it. Most of these people can fucking help it. They just don't give a shit. They want that 99-cent Happy Meal. Can't have it fucking both ways.
Yes, but then again, there's a whole other layer in it too. I agree.
Oh no, there's a lot. Physically, there's a lot of layers in that.
There's many layers, but I think there is like a socioeconomic layer in this country that is not their fault. Like most people are obese in this country. Literally, by most, like it's literally over 50%. Majority of people are obese.
Like
in this country.
like me right now.
But the problem is like inexpensive food in this country will make you fat. It will. And it's like a lot of people in this country can't afford anything but the inexpensive food.
I get it.
It's like that. Like we've literally designed the food to make you fat, and that's the cheapest food. So it's like now to be healthy and skinny, you have to like, it like kind of costs money. It's not. So then like if you're a single mom, I could see being like a single mom and you're working 2 jobs and you have like 3 kids.
Right, you get a Happy Meal.
You're going to get them McDonald's.
I agree.
And it's like, and then of course they're going to get fat. It's like it's just such a shitty society.
But wait. That I agree 110%. But that doesn't mean that it's the same as being racist or prejudiced.
Right.
Whatever. You just happen to be fat.
And it doesn't mean that we should then celebrate you for being fat. It means we should as a country be like, this is a problem. Let's address it together, because we don't want our kids being fat. But what it's turned into is fat is beautiful. If you don't think so, you're wrong. It's like, no, that's not what it should be.
It's cool to be fat, and don't worry about you be fat, honey. We still have your empowered being
fat.
Right,
that's not what it should be. But that's just, I mean, that's so classic of where our country's going, the safe spaces and not offending everyone, and
the laziness, the bullshit, and
it's because it's your problem. If you don't like it, it's your problem.
Right, not solving the underlying problems, masking their cortisone shots.
Right.
When you see these fat little fucking kids and you wonder why they can't get a fucking date or prom in high school, blame the fucking parents for giving them all the sodas and the sweets and the
but
sugar.
They're all fat. That's the crazy thing. It's like
disgusting.
Everyone, like, the only skinny people are like people who have money now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Disgusting. No, but seriously, I'm like 10 pounds over. I feel fucking nauseous. Should I celebrate it? Seriously, should I fucking celebrate it? Or do you want to take care of something? You have to fucking work hard. We talked at the beginning. It's hard to diet. It's hard. Listen, it's not easy to diet. Anything worthwhile is not easy, right? It's not easy.
Yeah.
Whether you want to work hard and make money, you want to invest in your children and make sure that you raise good kids, or you want to have a good relationship. Things are not easy to work at it. Same fucking thing of trying to be healthy. You don't think you and I want to eat a fucking McDonald's cheeseburger? Bro, what tastes better than a fucking quarter pounder with cheese? Nothing, dude. It's sick. That's how good it tastes.
Of course.
But you just don't eat it. And I got to tell you, quarter pounder of cheese is fucking killer.
But then there's the other thing too. It's like, and this is another thing where I feel both ways on. And it's hard to come up with, like, it's hard to make your mind up about things in life because so many things are so gray. Like, on the one hand, I'm all about free markets, right? Like, people should be able to create whatever businesses they want to and sell whatever they want to. Okay. If people want to buy it, I think that should be it. But on the other hand, I'm like, if you're McDonald's and you know you're producing things that are literally designed to be addictive and bad for you, and you're making it at such a cheap price point that it's like everyone's going to buy it, that also shouldn't be allowed. Like, as a country, we should make it where everyone is fairly healthy for a fine price. That's achievable.
Brian, I don't disagree with you, but like you said, there's this capitalism, right? And
I feel both ways.
I feel both ways. And where do you draw the line? Like, why should the government have that kind of control as opposed to? So I always believe that. I
would hope it was like people. People should be good natured and not do that.
No, but Bronny, I don't need the government parenting me or my children.
Right.
I think it's up to the parents to parent the children, and I don't think the government should get involved.
I agree. But so many people make such bad decisions. But then it's like, then we should, as a society.
No, but Bronny, take fucking soda. We don't drink soda as a family. We never really did. I might have a Diet Coke once every 3 months. You know what I'm saying? We just don't do it. We never had it in our household. Some people do. Should we have the government say you can't have soda?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Or like a better example, an easier example to get behind is like opiates, pills, right? Like Oxy and codeine.
That's a little bit different.
So those are made by a private company, and they're sold because it's a product that people with a need want to buy. But these companies like Purdue Pharma purposely makes them. They design them to be so addictive that after one dose, you're hooked forever. It's like, on the one hand, I think a company like Purdue Pharma should be able to make whatever they want, and if people want to buy it, they want to buy it. But then also, that should never be allowed.
That when you're putting pharmaceutical things like that, they should not make. They should make
food and pharmaceuticals.
But they should make all.
That's why they're under the same thing. It's literally the Food and Drug Administration. It's all things that you're putting into your body. Why should you regulate one and not the other?
I know, because I think that the drug is so powerful, and the dependency, as opposed to food makes you obese and people still make a choice. It's a little bit different. But
the thing is, like, we purposely make food that makes you obese now.
Okay, but you could choose not to buy that food if you need codeine as a painkiller, and that affects those drugs. Listen, those drugs affect every socioeconomic.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if you're poor or you're wealthy. We've seen plenty of people that are wealthy, educated, that got addicted to it, and we've seen people who are poor and uneducated got addicted. I think it's a very different guideline and administration that has to come down and have boundaries and guidelines and rules and regulatory when it comes to drugs as opposed to food. There's a big difference. Now, I do agree, but see, I think what comes another thing too, which is and remove the drug component for a moment, because I'm have my thoughts on the drugs. The other part is there needs to be some sort of accountability for people. You know what I'm saying? And people, the problem that we lost in our vision in our society is there's no accountability. So you very rarely hear people say, "Oh my God, I fucked up or I made a mistake." You ever have a discussion with someone if they're obese or if they're fat, or say, how many people have you ever had a conversation with Bronson recently, and they say, "You're right, I fucked up, I made a mistake. I'm gonna try to be better. I'm gonna do this."
That's not in our country's ethics anymore at all.
That's my point. So my point is, so why are they not people taking ownership for their action responsibility and say, "Listen, I'm fat. I wish I wasn't, or I wish it was different, or I respect someone more than me says to me, I'm just fucking weak. I can't stop eating. I'm fucking weak. I wish I could. I can't." That is better than saying, "You have to love me for because I'm beautiful."
100%.
No, you're not beautiful. You look in the mirror and you know when you can't fucking wipe your own ass because you can't reach around your ass because you're so fat and obese, you're not happy. So you're 100%. Kidding yourself. So we're teaching people that it's like that false reality again with social media and touching up all the pictures and making them look better, and these filters and these little iPhone apps where you can make stuff look better and younger. It's the same shit. People are.
Which I noticed that Zoom automatically does that. My skin does not look this good. There's no way. Zoom has automatically touched my face up, guaranteed. Which has been a thing that they do.
I don't know because I don't look so good, but that's okay. So my point is, what I'm saying is, maybe people really look at themselves and stop living this fancy now, this new metaverse and this false reality fantasy shit. If they fucking look at themselves and say, "Yeah, here's my flaws, here's my strengths, here's my weaknesses," and try to better themselves, they be fucking happier. We live in a fucking better society. But then it's all bullshit. There's nothing out there that the minute you make someone feel bad about themselves, you're a bully. Right. How about someone having some shame? Have shame.
I agree. That would help our country a lot.
There's nothing wrong with someone, your kid feeling like they disappointed you.
But the problem is now if someone feels bad, that's the worst thing in this world. We've decided in America, we've decided that an individual feeling bad is the worst thing we can do. So we have to do everything in our power to make sure that each individual does not feel bad. So if you're feeling bad because you gained a little weight, oh, that's good. Gaining a little weight, gaining weight is good. If you feel bad because you got a bad grade on test, oh, it doesn't matter because the teacher made the test too hard. It's like we make up excuses so that you don't feel bad. You should feel bad at a lot of points in your life. We all do.
And you, of course, and
it makes you better.
It makes better. Instead, we create pussies.
Yeah,
that's what it does. No, it's a bad system. It's like this: when you want to be better at what you do. Guess what? Work hard to be better. That's what it comes. Work harder. And if you're not better at what you do, that's okay too. Know your limits. There's nothing wrong with knowing your limits. Yeah, it's a problem. This whole fucking accepting everybody for who they are. It's all bullshit. I don't have to accept people for who they are. Hell fucking no. I don't want to accept you. I don't have to accept you. You don't have to accept me. Isn't that the beauty of the world, the country we live in? You can hang out with who you want to hang out with. You can live near who you want to live with, next to. You can be friends with who you want to be friends with. Don't fucking do this all-inclusive shit. If I don't want to fucking hang out with you, I don't like you, I don't need to fucking hang out with you. I don't need to get along with everybody, period. I need everybody to like me. I don't need to like everybody. That's the beauty, right? Don't we have a tendency of flocking to people we like that are similar, have similar views and goals and attributes and whatever? Of course. That's human nature. That's instinctive, right? That's not even a taught thing. I think that's instinctive. But this whole inclusive shit, whatever. Don't get me aggravated. I'm getting all hot now in this fucking sleeve's getting all aggravated.
All right, should we do a fatherly advice?
Sure, Bronny. But we miss you, Bronny. Mom, I miss you and Brycey Boo.
I miss my Bronny.
You hear Mom?
Hi, Mom. Yeah, I heard her. She can't hear me because it's in your headphones.
Wait, here. You want to, one minute.
Ron.
Hi.
Hey, bud. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's your weekend?
Good. You're on the podcast right now, you know.
She knows.
Podcast? I just took a quick nap.
She's lying in bed.
All right, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this fatherly advice. This is a juicy one. Okay.
Can I stay on, or am I giving this back to Dad?
You can stay on.
That's so good. I love you.
Okay.
She's so funny, your mom.
Okay, this one's anonymous. Hey, Jon and Bron, longtime listener and huge fan. I found myself in a very sticky situation. My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years and we live together. The relationship couldn't have started off any worse. And to say the least, there's a ton of baggage. He treated me terribly for 3 years, but I adored him and yearned for his affection. We broke up for a bit, he got his shit together, and then we got back together. Since we've been back together, he started treating me very well, for the most part, in parentheses. He helps me out a lot financially and just in general is genuinely a good guy, successful and smart. But for the past 2 years, maybe more, I haven't been in love with him and I hate myself for it. I want to be in love with him because he's my best friend and treats me really good now. I just think there's too much hurt from our past. I've also cheated on him before and he's taken me back. We are extremely codependent on each other. A few months ago, I met a guy through work. There's been sexual tension between us since I met him, but nothing happened because he's my boss. A few days ago, things escalated quickly and we had sex. And then again, I feel guilty, but not guilty enough to stop. So this led me to telling my boyfriend that I'm not in love with him and we broke up yesterday. This leads me to 2 questions. Wow, this is juicy. Okay, question 1. Should I tell my boyfriend that I cheated on him or is that unnecessary at this point? The breakup was very cordial and he was heartbroken but understood that he treated me badly in the past and it led to me feeling this way. And question 2 is I know it's never healthy to jump into a relationship right after a breakup, but I really like my coworker and the feelings are mutual. I don't want another failed relationship, but my feelings for him grow every time I see him. Okay. So there's 2 questions in there.
Well, I have my opinion, but
Give your
I
opinion.
can think of that.
Mom, I can barely hear you, Mom. Is the headphone fully in your ear?
Wait, hold on. Is that better?
Not really, but it's fine.
Okay, so can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here's my opinion. I can't tell if she stopped loving him because she's interested in the other guy or she really stopped loving him. I don't know what came first. She probably doesn't even know what came first. If you don't love somebody, you need to move on because codependency or any other thing, if the love isn't there, you need to move on. A relationship will never flourish and grow if the love isn't there.
Of course.
So if you don't love somebody, move on. Do yourself a favor and do them a favor. It's never going to change. Move on. Get out of the
That's not the
relationship.
Wait, but now that's not the question. Okay,
I'm
all
going
right.
on. If she cheated on him and they broke up and they're broken up and she didn't tell him that she cheated, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
100%. That's the.
Don't hurt
You're
the
already
guy.
broken up. You're already
Yeah,
gone.
but she likes. He sounds. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Yeah, don't hurt him.
There's no point to bringing that
Hurt
up
him.
when the relationship's already over.
Right. If it's over, move on. You should move on. Don't hurt him worse telling him this. Leave it alone. And then
Right.
secondly or thirdly.
I mean, I will add in. You should have broken up with him before you cheated, but don't tell him.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Right. I agree.
And then thirdly, you're going to go from one codependent relationship to another.
Yeah, she has issues, right? She has issues.
Figuring things out. You need to clear up your life. Don't go out with your boss. Don't do what,
Right,
this
get-
makes it comfortable for you to leave the other guy. No.
Yeah.
Take time for yourself. This probably isn't going to be a good relationship. It just isn't going to sound healthy.
If you said that the other relationship started with a lot of baggage, if you start a relationship on multiple cheatings with the other person, and that's how this new relationship's starting, that's already a ton of baggage. You're
That's a lot
repeating
of
your
baggage.
cycles.
Right. And you said it was not, it sounded like not very healthy and codependent. You're just going to do that again. You're going to create the same situation again. So get yourself a little bit of help, figure it out, and don't jump into this. Plus, you work with them. That has a big chance. to
I mean,
turn
she
out
already had sex multiple times with the person. You messed up there, first of all. Again.
Yeah. Well, you can't go back, but do the right thing. And we don't even know if her boss is married. We don't even know any of the details.
Right.
I would move away from that. That doesn't sound healthy. That doesn't sound good. Get yourself the right help you need so that you can have a really good, loving, healthy relationship in your life because that's important.
Right.
Yep.
I agree with everything Mom said. I would just add one thing further. I think she needs to really work herself because she doesn't know what a healthy relationship is. If she's been with him for a couple of years and she hasn't been in love with him, it's just
6 years she's been with him.
No, but the past couple of years said she hasn't been in love with him. So I think that she doesn't respect herself or him in that regard. And I don't think she knows how to have a healthy relationship because no one should be in a relationship that you're not in love with somebody. Doesn't make
Right.
sense.
Especially
Like,
for multiple
that's-
years.
why a relationship, if you're living with someone, you're with someone for years,
And the
would
person
think
treated
you-
her badly too.
No,
So it's like,
you'd think you love the person if you're with them for years, and if you're living on the same roof with somebody for years and you're not in love with them, then you don't even have respect for yourself enough to just move on. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's easy, but so I think that anonymous, you're confused, which is okay. There's no judgment, but what Nell said is you need to really work on yourself first, because every relationship you're going to get in is going to be a codependent relationship, and it's for the wrong reasons, and it's not for the right reasons, and you're not going to have a healthy relationship, and life is too short not to have a healthy relationship. That's my opinion.
I also think the fact that you've been single or you've been taken for 6 years, you've been in a relationship, you need to spend at least a year being single. You need to experience things being single as an adult. Yeah, that's just you like jumping from one relationship to the next. You're obviously just going to repeat the exact same patterns. You need to learn about yourself. You need
therapy.
That could help too.
But
Yeah.
credit to Anonymous for being so open and sending this to you. That's really,
Yeah.
you know.
No, listen, there's no, I'm not judging her. I'm just saying you need to get into some therapy, because you can't work through this on your own. And like what Bron said, if you got involved with this guy at the very beginning, and we don't know him good or bad, or indifferent, if you got involved with this gentleman 6 years ago and he didn't treat you well and you chose to stay with him for 2 years or whatever, that's not healthy for you. I mean, would you want that for your daughter or your son when they're growing up? I think
you got to reassess and work on your idea of what a relationship is, because clearly, no offense, you don't have a good sense of relationships. You just don't. You're not good in that, which is okay. You can improve on that. That's what a therapist can help you with. So yeah, that's the advice.
Not only that, but that's what being alone and having numerous relationships might help you with too, to learn and experience, to see your likes and your dislikes and what you want in the long term. But totally. I think you have to have love in a relationship to make it work. If you don't have the foundation of love, I mean that sincerely, it's never going to work, good or bad. It's not going to work. It just has to exist. Yeah. Or you just in a the best friend thing, it sounds nice in theory, but that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not always. You got to have that core depth of love and know you two are really meant to be together for it to work. That's my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're heading out to dinner in a bit. We're gonna go get some ribs at Flanagan's. I'm excited.
I don't love Flanagan's.
That's a great Saturday night spot. We didn't want
who's going, the three of you?
I think Jay is gonna come with us.
Okay. So all right.
I love you, Bronny Boo.
Love you too.
See you soon.
I'll see you. I'll see you
a week from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Where's your car going to be home?
I leave tomorrow, Mom.
Right.
My car's going to be in the garage here in Miami.
Oh, so you'll come. Okay.
I'm so happy. You have the best.
Will you text us when you take off and land?
I take off at 5 a.m, which is 3 a.m. your time.
No, don't text us.
No, don't do that.
And I land 8 a.m. Denver time.
Fine. So we text me or call me when we'll be around.
So I'm gonna be like driving to Vail, and you're gonna be coming back. We're probably gonna cross on the I-70 or whatever the highway is.
Yeah.
So wait, no, we'll be near.
What time are you driving to Denver?
We depart at 9:55.
And I land in Denver at 8:15. Oh, so we might be in the airport at the same time, actually.
Well, call us when you land.
I'll call. Yeah, we might be in the airport at the exact same time.
Yeah.
All right. So this was an interesting podcast.
Yeah, our first remote. I don't think we lost that much being remote.
I don't either. I still think it's better. I like being next to you because,
of course,
I like being next to you because then there's a difference in. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's a difference in the shock value and the shit you show me, and then I could tell you stop picking your fucking fingers and everything.
It's way better when we're in the same room, obviously, but this worked. So yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
All right. We love you, Bronny Boo.
Love you too.
Have a good time. Be safe. Stay warm. Oh, bring Advil, Tylenol, and Excedrin because you're going to be because the altitude you could whatever. And I'm telling you, it even affected me. And bring Tylenol, Advil, and Excedrin.
Already have it ready. I never travel. I'll show you. Here's my backpack.
Yep.
In here, I never travel without Advil, Pepto-Bismol, which I have right here.
Okay.
Chewies. I always have hand sanitizer. I've got a backup pair of headphones in there. I've got a backup mask, Tylenol,
My boy.
more Pepto-Bismol, and what else is in here? Some mints and chapstick. That shit never leaves my backpack, ever.
That's my son. All right, if nothing else, I raised you right. All right, I love you, brother.
Love you too. All right,
Bye,
bye.
everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.